for Curtin County sports leader, Best Country 106.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Broken Bow Coaches Show here live at Papa Poblano's. And once again, we're joined by Coach Maverick Lang. Coach Lang, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, man, what a night we had last night. Come up on the short end of things, but, man, 11-2. Finish up as state semifinalist in your second year. And before we get into the actual details of the game, Coach Lang, I want you to, I said several times last night on the radio how proud I was of the Savage faithful that traveled to watch you and your young men. First thing off, just tell us tell our Savage fans how that made you, your coaches, and your players feel to walk out and look up and see the sea of black and gold.
Oh, yeah, that was huge. It means a lot to the kids, coaches, because when we went out, our first wave of kids, our specials, went out. Then our receivers, skill kids came out. After that, we already had a ton of fans already out there at the stadium. We obviously outnumbered total in that department. But, yeah, that stuff, I know it probably gets overlooked sometimes, just the support and fans, home or away game. But that goes a long way with our kids. Our kids have recognized that, whether people believe it or not. They recognize the amount of people in the bleachers and the support they get. The send-off was great. Our kids love that, and how many people came out for the send-off. Yeah, it's a huge thing for momentum, too. Our kids being able to look up and see all them people.
You bet. It was wonderful to see. It brought back the Savage days of old, which is what we were been searching for, and I'm pretty comfortable to say now, without question, that Coach Lang, you and your staff have brought that back, and it showed last night. Of course, we faced Tuttle, number one, at 12-0, and rightly so. But Coach Lang, I thought we'd give them everything they wanted and more.
Oh, yeah. And that's one thing, our kids, we're not going to run from anything. We're not going to be scared. We respect what people do and how good they are. But our kids didn't flinch one bit last night. That's a team that has bullied everybody. The film that we got, the trade film we got on them, everybody was heavily intimidated by them, and our kids didn't blink whenever we, from the opening kickoff. Really good, obviously really good, really well-coached team. But we were able to get after them, and you can kind of tell at times they didn't know how to react to it, the adversity. It was a defense that averaged 3.9 points a game. Pretty sure outside of 13, that's the best offense and defense somebody's played them in. Outside the state championship last year with Elgin, you had date back like 3 years ago for them to be in that type of game. And there, right before, when we scored, you could really tell when we scored, we got the onside back and then went down and scored for, a touchdown stood for about 2 minutes. But in that time frame, we kind of shell-shocked them, and we just couldn't hold on. But really, really proud of our kids, coaches, how they attacked the game, and we was going toe-to-toe with them.
You bet. And that's, you get to the state semifinals, and you expect a excellence from everybody. Mm-hmm. But Coach Lang, I don't know that I can remember, and I've watched a lot of football, but Graydon, he'd done his thing, kept it alive, and then finds a receiver wide open in the back of the end zone, and just kind of flings it to him from about 35 yards, and officials both score. They touchdown, and then all of a sudden, we have a conference, no flag still yet, and then a flag comes out of the air for illegal man. You think it's pretty obvious, but I'm going to let you answer. Do you think the Tuttle coach off that one?
Because they called our right tackle downfield, which he was not. So I don't know. That's a tough one to swallow.
Tell me what his words were to you.
Well, the white hat wouldn't come talk to me. This sideline guy. It would have been his call to make, and he didn't he ran down, signal touchdown. The other one signal touchdown. There's no replay in high school football, so I don't know. I mean, our PAT kids are on the 3-yard line ready to roll for the PAT, and then no, they 100% let Tuttle call that one. And it wasn't even the right call for them to call because our Hammonds was not downfield, who they called it on. None of our linemen were downfield on that. But yeah, if you didn't see it 2 minutes ago, I don't know what you see during your huddle.
Well, that's like you said, you are not a man of excuses, and you're not going to use that as an excuse. You're not going to use that excuse on the Broken Coaches Show. You're not going to use that as an excuse in a meeting of your team because you have too much pride in the program and yourself. But that was a big turning point. But at the same time, lots of ball game left. But that was a big
kids, but our kids responded.
Sure.
We were big on control what you can control. As bad as it was, we couldn't control it, and our kids, it didn't affect our kids. I mean, it was bad, a bad kind of ordeal there, span of that time going into halftime. But once it was over, it was what it was. Our kids responded and didn't let them affect it.
Well, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna give you a question that'll give you a chance to respond in for your offensive line, and you'll do it quickly by saying there's been several times we've been called for illegal man downfield, but here's the thing. As an offensive lineman, how hard would it be to block or not to block? When you have a quarterback as electric as Graydon Howe, it's the hardest thing as an offense. And I'm bragging on them because, by golly, they did a excellent job this year. And Jeremy Bean did an outstanding job with those young men. And it's hard to block when you've got a quarterback that can do anything at any time. Well, he's behind you, and you're man up with a 280-pound defensive lineman that's trying to get your guy. It's hard to know when to let go and when to stay hooked up.
Yeah. First, they've done a phenomenal job. Coach Bean's done a great job with them. Their growth from the McAllister game throughout the season. And then people obviously talk about our skill kids on the offensive side of the ball and what they've been able to do, but they do none of that without those 5 cats up front. I know they get overlooked, and I show more favoritism to that bunch probably more than anybody because it's a position. But yeah, all the statistics that our kids have put up offensively, it's on the backs of those 5 kids up front who's done a great job all year. And to what you asked, they've gotten better because even you can tell at the back end of the season if they can kind of sense the ball's not out, they start looking around, and then if they drifted a little, because you get 3.5 yards, if they've drifted close to that, they'll take off running back behind that threshold. And that's exactly what happened on our farthest kid on that play that was called was like 2 yards, and he runs back. I mean, they're probably negative 2 to 3 yards before the ball was thrown on that play. But they've done a really good job because it is tough. It took some getting used to. But they kind of grew into having a good sense of, hey, the ball's not out yet. So if I'm a little on the edge, I need to come on back.
Yeah. But it was there's no, we were talking about leading up to the week that, yes, Tuttle has lost one game in the last 2 years, and it was the state championship game last year to Elgin, whom they'll face next week. But, they've played some good opponents, but were they going to be able to stimulate on their scout team this last week our kids? And I can guarantee you they weren't, because they'd had to go over there to Venables and have him send some people, because they weren't going to be able to put high school kids that were going to match the athleticism of not just Graydon but our receivers and backs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's what last night, and it's been the point of the whole season, skill wise. Obviously Graydon, Snooty had good nights. But receiver wise, AJ had a great night. He's really, this back stretch of this deal, he's played really well. Khalil had a big night. It's not, that's what makes our kids tough to defend, and they don't care who gets it, the praise there. But there's just so many they all contribute. They bought into, if you're on the field, you will contribute. And when the ball's thrown their way or handed to them or makes it through them, they take advantage of it.
As far as Tuttle's defense, Coach, I wanted to ask you this morning: were you more impressed? You know, they were, like I said, giving up 3.9 points per game over 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost unheard of.
Yeah.
And I don't care what class you look at any level, that is almost unheard. But were you more impressed with their front seven or their back four?
Kind of both. The mostly impressed with just their speed. They got to the football in a hurry, extremely physical. I mean, there's some hits in the first two series, but our kids didn't back down to that stuff. But yeah, they're a physical team, but probably just their overall team speed there on defense side of the ball to get to the football. Because Snooty, early couple drives, Snooty is kind of muddy. He bounced it, and he figured out in a hurry that's not the way to beat these guys. And then after that, he did a phenomenal job punching at place that A or B gap. It made some huge runs for us. And but yeah, and our skill kids did a great job on the perimeter, on the edge, catching the ball, making one dude miss or getting, because there wasn't a lot of, you didn't have time to dance around too much out there because the cats were covered.
The reason I asked you that is because I wasn't near as impressed with their front seven as I was their back four, just because we ran the ball plenty, and the old mighty Savages done really good against their front seven. I thought that's why I asked you that, because to me, their ability to let you get open and then close, that's what I thought made them tough.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing. It's kind of been a trend this season is, guys, when we roll the film on our opponent and we'll find one or two box guys that's in the box that are really good, and then them kids don't really show up on Friday nights. And that goes back to a great job our offensive line does and our backs, tight ends, and their H-backs. But yeah, they're kind of how they suffocate you once you get the ball in the downfield and secondary was probably a bigger bright spot for them than their box kids.
Yeah, evidently. Well, like I said, it was a really good showing by the Savages. We give those fans something to cheer about. They were loud all night. They filled the visiting sideline. Got to see lots of former Broken Bow players. Lots of fans that used to go to a lot of ball games. They showed back up like the old days. Former Savage head coach Rich Jones and his son and former Broken Bow player Brett Jones were there. We got to talk with them at halftime. It was a good deal. They had lots of praise for you and your team, which I knew that they would, but it was despite the loss, Coach Lang. That's just what last night was. What it's all about. That's why you coach. That's why you. That's why you build. That's why you do what you do.
Oh yeah, and that's why you play high school football for those top environments. And yeah, so proud of our kids because everything they've done and invested in this program has allowed them to have that opportunity. They earned the right to play in that game. But yeah, atmosphere from our fans, obviously the semifinal atmosphere. That's why you sign up to play high school football.
You bet. And as you and I talked, but when you first got here, we were talking about the Savage tradition. Being here, it was just asleep, and you said, "I'm fixing to wake it up." Well, I think you woken it up and thrown some water on it, and they've jumped up and responded. Talk just a little bit before we go to break about your 2 years here up till now.
Yeah. And that's one thing, just talking about 2 years I've been here, a lot of tradition here, Broken Bow football. And that was the main goal, to get this main thing right out the gate, is bridge the gap of, because it kind of seemed that there was not a law. There was kind of a gap in there between the Broken Bow tradition and the history and then the current players. So we focused heavy on that stuff, did some stuff, brought the Broken Bow Way board back, obviously talked about stuff, and some alumni guys have visited with the kids throughout the last 2 years. But it all comes down to, as coaches, you can talk about stuff, you can draw stuff up on a whiteboard. If those kids don't invest, buy into what you want to do, invest heavily into the football program, and more so invest into the kids around them, their teammates, and how close this groups came together just a year and a half, or not 2 seasons, the 2 years that we've been together has been really cool to be a part of and witness. And then our obviously the seniors, they've raised the bar for our underclassmen kids to this round's just going to be the norm, is what we're trying to fight for. Getting here to the semifinals is kind of the expectation now, what our seniors set. Seniors also set how to attack day-to-day stuff, because football is a practice sport. It's you're only guaranteed 10 of those things for 365 days a year. But yeah, the main thing is the kids invested and bought in from pretty much day one, and that makes you that allows you the opportunity to turn it a little quicker than by year 4 we can do this, and by so yeah, a lot of praise for how our kids bought in stuff and care about each other and play for each other.
You bet. Well, let's take just a short break and let you hear word from our sponsors, some station identification, and when we come back, we'll talk with Coach Lang more about the seniors. Those are the ones that played their last game as a Savage. We'll have a few that get the opportunity to go on and play again. That's wonderful. But we're gonna let Coach Lang talk about his seniors and what they have meant to that program and his appreciation, because I'm sure we could probably do a 4-hour show, but we're gonna try to condense it into 10 or 15 minutes. But let's take just a short break and join us back here for the Broken Bow Coaches Show live here at Papa's on Best Country 106.
McCurtain County sports leader, Best Country 106.
And welcome back to Papa Blano's here as we have the Broken Bow Coaches Show. If you just tuned in, Savages finished their season last night at 11-2 with a loss to number 1 and undefeated Tuttle, 49-28. But let me tell you, and all those fans that were there and all the fans that were listening back home can tell you that was nowhere near what the margin was in that football game. That was not a 3-touchdown game by Tuttle. It was nip and tuck into the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just you look at that and you think, 3 touchdowns, but I'm telling you, it was 30. We're down 1 score down to minute 6 or minute 5.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
So it was score was not indicative of what it actually was. But Coach Lang, talk about. I said it last night. I said I'm not going to do it because I'm going to miss one. I said we're going to wait till Coach Lang gets there. This one, you won't miss one, but I would, and it would be inadvertently, and I sure don't. So let's talk about the seniors and what they've done, and they were juniors when you got here. So just talk about how they have laid the foundation for success.
Yeah, this senior group, really, really proud of them. They've kind of talked about them a couple minutes ago because they've done nothing but buy in and left a really, really good legacy here. I'm talking from the 2 years that I was around them. Broken Bow football moved in the right direction. Great kids, great developed into great young men just the 2 years I've been around them. Start on the offense side of the ball. The two starters we got over there, Josh McDaniels. He consistent kid, smart kid. Invested a lot into this football program. 3-year starter up front. Real smart kid. He obviously the center's got a man and be the quarterback of that up front group. Then our ex AJ, lot of talent with AJ. He's a high energy kid, and he made some plays early in the year, obviously, but there about this back stretch, he's been really, really good for us. Making plays with the ball once it's out, or once he gets the ball into his hands. So those two kids that we're going to miss on offense. And flipping over to defense, BB, he rotated some at our X position with AJ, and he's a senior. He didn't play last year as a junior. Came out this spring, and obviously was a starting corner for us. Great kid, real athletic kid, and helped us a lot at corner. And then Fields is another one. He played a little bit of receiver for us at the Z position, but he was starting corner. So Isaiah Fields, smart, really, he probably smartest kid we got on the team. Quiet kid, but really intelligent. He's one that if you tell him to do something one way, usually he's got to tell him one time to do it that way, and then you can expect it from him. But yeah, quiet kid. He's a funny kid once he starts talking, but you got to kind of pry it out of him. But real good technique kid, and he was obviously a starter for us last year there. Both safeties, Cole Patrick, one that's like we have this year at other positions, undersized kid, but you can't tell by his play. Real physical kid, sure tackler, really quick, explosive, and short burst kids for us. Sky Baker is our free safety. It kind of felt for him because senior year, he was banged up last year a little bit, and then he got banged up there in the first, or right there, half of the McAllister game. And he's been phenomenal for us once he got him back on the defense side of the ball. Because he is the cat that helps us get lined up back there. The voice of reason in the secondary. Real good playmaker, obviously a tackler, physical kid, great kid. So that's our senior secondary guys. Linebacker, just one of the three, senior, Bladen Maddock. He's I always joke around with us. He would love to just do Oklahoma drill all day. He's a physical kid. He'll run in. It don't matter what you tell him, run in and hit it. He'll run in and hit it. And that's just how he's wired. Physical kid. But yeah, Maddock, and he's going to be a linebacker hard to replace. Moving to the defensive line, we'll just start at either DN, Kelgan. And from the get-go last year when I first witnessed him practicing and playing, I love the way Kel plays, the effort, the energy, enthusiasm Kel plays with. And he's obviously going to be a kid hard to replace, not even getting to his performance-wise, just what he brings to our team in the football or our Friday nights from that aspect. And he obviously plays and contributes really well. Roll in, you got the D tackles, Jimmy Brown and Jackson Porter. Jimmy might be the funniest kid we got on the team. And he's a strong kid, can move, athletic kid, and he really cares about broken bow football. And then Porter, he's when I met him, he's probably grown like 5 inches just over the last year. And he's exactly what you want in a D lineman. He's a big physical kid. He's got the mentality that you want from a D lineman. I'll put it that way. And he's going to be a hard one. Obviously, all these kids will be hard ones to replace. And then he's a linebacker kid, kind of got thrown in at the end early in the year, and we never looked back as a team, Billy Brown. And obviously, if you see him over in the defensive line group, you're like, that kid's D lineman. And then you just wait till the ball's kicked off. Billy's played, and it don't matter how how big offensive linemen are. He's done some things to some big offensive linemen that kids their size ain't doing to them. And it's just the heart he has. He puts Broken Bow football above himself, hands down. There's no question. And what Broken Bow football means to him, and he's one that Broken Bow football is a lot better because Bentley Brown came through our program. I can do a whole segment on Bentley. He is
the Broken Bow way.
Oh yeah, he's the definition of that. Then you got Tajon Murphy, who moved here right when the Christmas or the spring semester started last year. Getting him, and he's transformed as a human being since we got him. Great kid, obviously, with good pads. He's been a great teammate for us, and a big kid that plays in defense tackle in the interior of our defense. And then, trying to think defensive line. And then you get kids that come up in different aspects of the games, whether it's offense, defense, special teams for us. The one, and then he's not far off from like a Bentley Brown is Maverick Soto. What he does, great kid. He's here every day. He's made some huge plays, or special team wise. Got an interception there in the McLean game, for Wagner game. It was Wagner, yeah. And tough kid, physical kid, great attitude. He ran the ball well whenever he was out there running back. Then another one, senior wise, that's kind of in that role. Jeremiah Freeman, more Freeman. He's a senior kid running back, outside linebacker kid with special teams. And that's what was good about this senior group. Any of our groups is they're willing to contribute however means necessary. And there's not any kids that's just wanting the spotlight on them. They put the betterment of Broken Bow football and their teammates above themselves.
You bet. Well, I'm glad that I sure didn't want to do that, Lisa. You did a great job, and couldn't be more in agreement with you about those Savage seniors that played the last of their careers, of their high school careers. Porter, you probably going to get to play some more.
Yeah. There's Porter, Sky and Isaiah. Will AJ's got some offers. Might be Medoc, but he's going to go baseball route. That might be it as of right now.
But they did play their last game as a Savage, and I'm tickled they got to do it in that type of environment with that type of support from our fans and our coaches, and the groundwork has been laid. The 2-befores don't go up before the slab, and I think you got our house dried in. I think you got the slab, the 2-befores, the plywood and the shingles on. You're ready to build onto and finish the house in my mind, because I think not just myself, almost everybody is just tickled to death with what you and your staff have done. I do hope that you've dug those heels in and are ready to stay here, because I think you and your staff have got what it takes. I think our kids believe that. I think our kids know that we don't have to go. We don't have to go try to find the Lane Kiffin of the coaching and try to get the credit. We've got our guy, in my opinion, and many, probably everyone's opinion. So, and again, I want to thank you for being here each and every Saturday, because we get in kind of late from those trips, and and you've never wavered and you've never griped, and you come through there with a smile. Even the 11 times you come through there with a big smile, but even those two, you come through there and you represented Broken Bow football. So thank you again. Thank you to our sponsors that allowed us to bring you these games on the radio and these coaches shows. Coach Lang, I'm going to give you, before we sign out, I'm going to give you one last chance. Not one last chance, just one last deal to just no, not at all. Absolutely not at all. I want to give you one last word to wrap this up. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I'll start with how appreciative coaches and the players are of everybody that supported us this year. From everybody, that stuff means a lot. It really, really means a lot to our kids. They invested a lot into this stuff, and to show how people showed the community, businesses, all that stuff has showed the support for them kids. It goes a long way, and they might not verbalize that stuff, but it means when we can tell and we hear them kids talk and see how they react, that stuff means a lot to them. Yeah, the kids have done a great job of moving the needle for Broken Bow football this year. And then we're just going to keep fighting every day, even though it's off season. We're going to fight every day to keep moving in the right direction. Kids are bought in, and we're excited about. We're really, really pleased with this year. What was able to accomplish and get done. But once Monday rolls around, we'll be excited about moving this thing forward for next season. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about our community and everybody that supported our football program, parents that's allowed us to coach them, and allowed us to free reign, invest in our kids. That stuff means a lot. And then proud of the coaches. I say it all the time. I'm extremely lucky to coach with the guys I get to coach with, everybody that's a part of our football program. It's just a really good, I know it's coming off a bad night last night, but it's a really good time for Broken Bow football right now from everybody. And we're excited about how we're moving this thing forward.
You bet. One last thing I'll add. First district championship since 2010, the highest scoring offense in Broken Bow high school history. And I knew I was going to have to mention that because you're too humble to do that. But and then the good ones are. The good ones are not going to say, look at me. But you did accomplish those two things, along with 11-2 season and an appearance in the semifinals, and give the Tuttle Tigers everything they wanted. I promise you they didn't wake up this morning wanting some more. So, Coach Lang, thank you again. Thank you to all of our sponsors who allowed us to bring. Thank you to Papa's who lets us do this, greets us with a smile each and every Saturday morning. So that's going to be it on the season for the Savages. It was a very successful one, and now it's on to basketball. Thank you all for joining the Broken Bow Savage Coaches Show on Best Country 106.
Papa Poblanos, proud sponsor of Broken Bow Savage Football and host of The Savage Show. Hear the latest in Savage football action live Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. right here on Best Country 106. Papa Poblanos satisfies your cravings for sizzling fajitas, mouth-watering tacos, savory burritos, and more. Treat yourself to the flavors of Tex-Mex. 304 North Park Drive in Broken Bow, or call 584-9494 to pick up your order or utilize their catering services. Papa Poblanos, a delightful dining experience.
Your home for Broken Bow Savage Football. 106.1 KKBI FM, Broken Bow, Idabel.